Our third school is William Jewell College. The Cardinals entered 2025 following a 5-6 overall record and a 3-5 conference mark to finish tied for sixth in the standing last year. In the preseason poll just released, the coaches have picked William Jewell to finish seventh. Joining us today is head coach Jason Ambroson, senior offensive lineman Nash Gagliano, and senior defensive lineman Justin Endicott. So we'll start out with O-lineman Nash Gagliano, entering his fourth season with the Cardinals, starting all 32 games of his career, and paved the way for a really impressive rushing attack last year. And first thing for you, Nash, you were born in St. Louis, but you played high school football in Texas with Justin.
Right.
What's this whole journey been like, culminating here at William Jewell?
Yeah, no, it's been great. Really happy to be back in Missouri. Have a lot of family back in the St. Louis area, so it's been great to be able to play with not just Justin, but we have another teammate from Prosper that's up at William Jewell with us. It's been great. Love Kansas City, love William Jewell, and I'm excited for this season.
So mentioned that Keandre McCullough just went crazy behind your blocking last year. What's it like to open up holes for a talented running back like that?
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, with the help of the other offensive linemen, I mean, it's awesome just to be able to block for somebody like Keandre, and then Micah Joe coming up next year, and then Cam, and then just the great talent that we have coming in this fall. I'm super excited to be able to block for these guys.
Run blocking or pass blocking? Which do you like more and why?
Run blocking. I love run blocking because I want to be able to move somebody off the ball. You can still do that in pass pro, but you just have a little bit more leeway on the run.
And, of course, being on the line, you got to keep that calorie count up. What's your favorite meal, and where are you getting it from?
My favorite meal, I'll say Texas Roadhouse country fried chicken. There we go.
Okay, very nice. And as a leader on this team, what are the qualities that you've been focused on trying to bring to your team this upcoming season?
Yeah, just the camaraderie, just making sure we're close, because it's a lot easier to play together when we're all just super close together, and we're just when it's a family. Like just from my experience from the teams that I've been on, is we've been the most successful when we've been close together as a team. So.
And now for Justin Endicott, also playing your high school football at Prosper, Texas, like we just mentioned, entering your fourth season at Jewell. Last season, 34 tackles, 24 of them being solo on the defensive line. Really impressive. You got off to a red-hot start last year. You had 4 sacks in your first 4 games. How do you plan to keep that consistent throughout the season this upcoming year?
Really just working in the system that we got. Coach Colas and the rest of the staff on the defense side of the ball puts together a great game plan for us every week. But all the work we put in this off season and during the summer really just helps us out when it comes time to actually get down to it.
Justin, nearly a third of your tackles last year came for a loss. How much pride do you take in winning those blocks, in getting downhill, and in making a play in the backfield?
I guess I'll say a lot of pride in it. It's one of the great things to do as a defensive lineman is to make a TFL, whether that's a sack or it's a run play. But I think as a defense as a whole, we pride ourselves in being a swarm to the football, red swarm as Coach Colas calls it. But we take pride in all 11 guys to the ball and getting that guy down with everyone. So.
I'd imagine you've gone up against Nash quite a few times in practices in your career. What makes him such a special player?
He's just he's a hard worker, and he's really consistent. In high school, I actually used to play nose guard, so I'd go up against Nash every day. Now, not so much. I'm more on the edge, but it's just really consistent. He definitely upped my game in high school. There's some times where I remember he snatched me down and made me look a little silly in practice. But all that, I'm sure there's ways I made him better.
For sure.
But just the iron sharpens iron really is where it's at with going against Nash.
And for head coach Jason Ambroson, such a tremendous resume that you have put together throughout your career, including some really big turnarounds that you've been able to orchestrate, including Moberly. How do you plan to bring that to William Jewell, and what's been the key to some of those turnarounds that you've done?
I think the key is the people. It's always been the people. It's always been, there's three things that are non-negotiable, whether it's hiring a staff or whether it's recruiting a kid, and it comes down to hiring a staff that has high character, a staff that loves kids, and a staff that has immense work ethic. And then when you flip that over and you're recruiting kids, or you're bringing kids into your program and recruiting hallways, or you're recruiting Kansas City, that's one thing that was a big deal for me, is making sure we have the right people there. And I was blessed and fortunate in every situation to have the ability and autonomy to hire the right people, because being a football coach isn't about being a coach. We're educators, and my wife's an educator. I'm an educator, and part of the commitment that we have is to be 24/7, 365 educators, and making sure we're there for kids and helping them through the things that they need to go through. And when you are able to hire the right people to stand alongside you, because no one can do it by themselves, and then you're able to recruit, even in my situation, or maintain, these guys came from great programs, great friendship, and there's a lot of kids that chose to stay at William Jewell when I got offered the job, and then they're the real deal. They're the reason we turned the corner, because those kids said, hey, I'm going to stay here and do this because I love my teammates and I love this institution, and we're going to give this guy a try. And they bought into that, and they trusted me, and I appreciate them for that. And then we've been able to add pieces to it that are, again, high character kids first, that want a good degree, that got something to prove, and are great teammates. And so these guys have been able to facilitate that. And in all of my situations, it's because I've been blessed to work with tremendous young people and tremendous coaches. And you know what? When you've got the right people working together, anything is attainable.
Full circle moment for you in your career. You spent some time on the Jewell staff in the late 90s. What's it like to be back?
It's awesome. I had opportunities to look at Jewell over the years, and they had come back, and we had talked about different things, and there were times when Jewell wasn't committed, in my opinion, to putting the kids first. And wherever I come, that's where I want to be. I want to be at a place where our kids are going to be the focal point, that it is going to be kid-centered, it's going to be about kids, and I think these guys would attest that they had some days where they didn't think that was evident. And to be able to have the opportunity to come back to a tremendous institution with a strong alumni base that needed positives, that needed energy, and then to find people who stayed the course, I think was phenomenal. And there's a strong alumni base that are supporting what we're doing with these guys, not just financially, but even in the numbers that we had last year in attendance. The new bleachers were full, and it's going to be over full this year, because we have so many local kids plus the guys that are there, and just the energy around the program because of the hard work these guys have put in. It's going to be a fun year.
Awesome to hear all of the culture stuff that you're talking about. In terms of on the gridiron, what kind of style of football can fans expect from your team?
Well, we've got to learn to be a complementary football team. And that means that we need to help each other, because just like any small college program, your success is going to be deemed by, number one, the availability of your players and keeping them healthy. Two, the ability of you to not beat yourself. And so these guys last year, I don't give them credit. Before I got there, Jewell was one of the most penalized teams in the GLVC. Last year, we were the lowest penalized team. So in 1 year, these guys changed their approach, changed their outlook, got down to 3.4 penalties per game. That's something that I've prided myself in. We've got to learn to turn the ball over less, and we've got to learn to get a few more turnovers. And if we would have averaged one less turnover per game and one less penalty per game and put us at 2.9 or 0.5 penalty, we would have won at minimum 3 more games. And those are things we can control. And so these guys have worked really hard to put themselves in a position, and it's fun to see the growth. And now it's the things that we did well last year we need to continue to do and tweak a little bit. And then some of the other things that are going to get fixed with age, with just getting in better shape and developing depth, we're going to be able to do. But we have to be complementary. We got to stay healthy. We got to take care of each other. We got to play as many guys as we can so that we can play the relentless style of football that we want to do. We got to control the ball on offense, and we got to be just absolute terrors on defense, and then be sound in the kicking game. And I'm really excited about the lengths that we've gone to fix those things and the effort that these guys have put in to do it. So I'm glad football season's here because I'm excited for them to see the fruits of their labor.
Well, we can't wait to see what you guys accomplish this year out on the gridiron. Thank you so much for the time, and best of luck this season.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you.